Hey everyone, it's Jenny Lee. Welcome back to Heal My Cosmos. I am here today to talk about the Pisces New Moon occurring on March 18th, 2026, at the very late degree of 28 degrees of Pisces. There is symbolism of the new moon occurring at that late degree point, only 1 degree away from the final degree point of the entire zodiac. There are 4 planets plus the North Node in Pisces, which is conjunct and working with, and at the same exact degree point as Mercury, which is still retrograde until March 20th. We've talked a lot about endings this year, resets, new beginnings, and it's because we've had a lot of different planets involved in facilitating the changes necessary to start the astrological new year, which is also known as the spring equinox or the fall equinox, depending on where you live on the planet. The new moon at a late and almost final degree point of Pisces, working with our life force planet, the sun. They're dancing together in and out of the spiritual and physical realms, activating within us our awareness of what is old and expired, reminding us if we don't tend to it, it will start to wreak havoc on our future. Outside of the sun and the moon in Pisces at the late degree approaching finality, we have an additional stellium or cluster of planets in Pisces. Mars, our primal action initiating planet, Mercury, our messenger planet, retrograde, symbolizing that the messages it has are internal and very personal to us. So we must keep that in mind as we are working with this new moon. These internal messages are activating the memories of our past so that we can see clearly what absolutely cannot move forward with us into our future if we are to choose to live our destiny. Mercury in Pisces stationed retrograde on February 26th and has been creating communication breakdowns everywhere you look. Anyone that has felt like they are in a game of hide and seek with their schedules lately, I see you. Anyone who feels like they are swimming in a deep sea of emotions that are resurfacing from the past and coming up in your most sacred relationships, I see you. Anyone whose flight or trip somewhere got changed last minute, I see you. Anyone whose body has gotten sick multiple times in the same month, I see you. Mercury will move direct on March 20th, coinciding with the spring equinox. Can I get a hallelujah? Yes. Dream is destiny. A quote from a favorite movie of mine, Waking Life. I consider that movie to be very Piscean and Neptunian. It is the very essence of this particular new moon in Pisces. Dream is destiny. Outside of the school of fish, aka Pisces planets that we have during the new moon, we also have 3 planets plus Chiron in the sign of Aries. We will call these Aries planets the fire starters. Neptune, the planet that rules Pisces, is currently in Aries, symbolizing the activation of a dream. Saturn, the planet that creates a structure with strong boundaries, is also currently in the sign of Aries, symbolizing the ability to do what is necessary to make that dream a reality. And then Venus, the planet of attraction, receptivity, relationships, feminine energy, and self-value, is also in the sign of Aries, symbolizing a newfound honoring of our individuality and our ability to assert ourselves, to make space for ourselves within the dream. Chiron, The point of the wounded healer in Aries is supporting us in seeing where we need to allow ourselves to be more vulnerable so that our individuality can be seen and shine as we work towards our dreams. The Sun and the Moon in Pisces are in a sweet sextile with Uranus and Taurus. This is an opportunity for us to touch in with the actual stability or lack thereof inside of the container that we're creating our dream in. Taurus is the builder. It's the sign that prioritizes stability above all else. Uranus is the planet that stimulates divine insight through sometimes rude awakenings or surprise changes. Uranus is finishing up its time in Taurus and will enter Gemini on April 25th and stay there until 2033. When an outer planet that stays in a sign for a significant amount of time is in the last leg or the final chapter in a sign, there can be last-minute developments that set the stage for the new chapter. It has to be sure to complete the project it set out to complete while in the sign. Uranus went into Taurus in 2018. Think about the time span between 2018 and now. What big project was Uranus completing in your life in the sign of Taurus? It most likely looked more like a renovation or a demolition, depending on what planets or areas of your chart that you personally have Taurus energy. The Sun and the Moon in Pisces are also in an out-of-sign conjunction with Neptune, since there's only 3 degrees between them, from 28 degrees of Pisces to 1 degree of Aries. This is a symbolic conjunction because it creates an energetic threshold for each of us to cross during the new moon. From the past to the present, from confusion to clarity, it's the activation of the threshold that we will be walking across slowly as each planet in Pisces enters Aries. On April 17th, we will have the new moon in Aries, and there will be a total of 7 planets in Aries, symbolizing swift movement forward after a long chapter of feeling lost. The planet Venus at 15 degrees of Aries is in an exact square or point of tension with the planet Jupiter at 15 degrees of Cancer. This is a cardinal square. Both Cancer and Aries are cardinal signs that are squaring each other. One is fire, that's Aries, and the other is Cancer, that's water. Cardinal symbolizes leadership. So it's one way of leadership against and having tension with another way of leadership. Venus in Aries symbolizes honoring our current desires to take action at an individual level, and Jupiter in Cancer symbolizes honoring our history by rewriting the narrative to a more self-empowering script. A square is typically a negative aspect, but Jupiter is said to benefit any aspect it's a part of. We must identify what exactly we need to create less friction between our desires for the current moment and our feelings about the past to make the most of this particular square. We must declare that we are willing to allow for the healing necessary to clear our subconscious of all of the beliefs that have been stunting our ability to move forward, proud of who we are without any old tapes from the past playing over and over and slowing us down. Once we get to that Aries new moon on April 17th, we will have zero capacity to be slowed down. We must clear the path so that we can sprint and not look back. The planet Saturn at 3 degrees of Aries is in a sextile or an opportunity aspect with the planet Pluto at 4 degrees of Aquarius. These 2 planets are both no-nonsense planets that are willing to do what it takes to reach a goal. Saturn in Aries has a plan for the Aries sprinter, not to get burned out before the first lap, And Pluto in Aquarius is performing deep and transformative change on the collective and on each of us that are part of making up that collective. These two Sirius planets have the opportunity to support us in seeing clearly who exactly we are in this collective transformation that is taking place. We must own it and stay dedicated to our own individual roles in this profound collective healing. Jupiter is also in a wider trine with Mars during this new moon. It is worth mentioning because both planets are active in other aspects in the chart. Mars is already working with Mercury retrograde and the North Node as a part of the Pisces stellium, and Jupiter is already working with Venus. Jupiter and Mars are speaking to each other, having a conversation about the past. Mars is reviewing his actions, and Jupiter is bringing in positive reframes for Mars to feel proud and empowered as he prepares to start a completely new cycle in Aries. So this particular new moon in Pisces is a pretty profound one, and it's bound to bring up grief. It's bound to bring up clarity around what needs to end. And we are very wise to pay attention to those messages, because once all of those planets align in Aries, there's no looking back. We need a clear path. And if you can participate in the cleaning, right? Put the spring cleaning on your calendar for yourself, for your subconscious, for your past, and make sure no stone is left unturned. There will be a very powerful and profound new beginning waiting for you in Aries season and with the Aries new moon on April 17th. So thank you for being here. Thank you for just being interested in what's going on in the cosmos, because it's a very felt experience right now for all of us. And so I'm wishing you well. I hope that you will stay tuned for my guided meditation and energy healing release video for the Pisces new moon that I will be releasing shortly after this podcast. And I hope that you take advantage of the ability to work with the moon cycle twice a month, the new moon, the full moon, and get my guidance around how to move through the cycle. It's pretty much a roadmap to how to learn to be intentional with the energy that's working through you, with or without your actual conscious participation. And it's kind of like an experiment. You start to work with the moon cycle and you start to see your life shift and get a little bit more easeful, a little bit more graceful, obstacles being removed, opportunities opening up more easily. So just taking that into consideration, if you're not already a paid subscriber, for only $8 a month, you can get a roadmap to how to work with the moon cycle to better your life, to ensure that you can be the most successful in all areas of your life as you move forward. And so stay tuned for my meditation and energy release video. Those videos also come with a detailed breakdown of this forecast, a new moon ritual that you can do at home on the actual new moon, as well as new moon affirmations that you can use as an oracle to see which one is right for you in your moon cycle, and then a playlist to put on and vibe to, and just invite your body to move or sit still and just kind of allow the music to help you release any old energy and activate what's ready to be activated within you for this particular new moon. And so I look forward to seeing you on the flip side, and I will see you back here soon. And I'm wishing you a really beautiful Pisces new moon.